Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Well, today I am doing an updated full face makeup routine. I have a few new products that I want to show you because I've absolutely been loving them. Today's video is in collaboration with Nordstrom. I always love when they ask me to work with them. I get the majority of my makeup products and beauty products probably at Nordstrom anymore because I get the points, and then that way I can buy things later like nice handbags or nice shoes. So that's a perk. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that if you have the Nordstrom card, but today I'm going to start out. One thing actually I have right here I want to tell you guys about because I have been using this for years and I really do think this makes a difference. I'm going to talk about a new concealer in a minute, but this Bobbi Brown under eye cream, I've talked about this for years, a hydrating eye cream. I buy a new one every year. It lasts me about a year. You can see where I'm in. This to me is such a key step in my makeup. Not only, you know, do I moisturize and all that before, but I just find the biggest difference under my eyes using this with pretty much any concealer. But I need a separate eye cream because I find my skin needs moisture but nothing too heavy, but then I need a little bit more under my eyes. I've said that before, but if you guys have not tried this, I highly recommend it. I've used others and I always go back to this. Again, I've been using it for years. And it is just such a key step in my makeup process. So I'm gonna start with foundation. I have been using for the longest time, I switch off and on, but I use a combination of these two. This is the Shiseido. This is the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, oil-free. I absolutely love this. I just find this looks better throughout the day and it keeps oil at bay. I sometimes have to touch up a little right by my nose, but I absolutely love it. I have it in the color 240. And then I mix it with the Cosmetics CC cream. Right now I've been using the shade Fair Light and I just do a pump of each. And I have found, even when I've tried other foundations, you know, that I might like, I always go back to this because I know it's gonna last all day. It doesn't bring attention to a lot of my problems, which, you know, obviously I have redness and uneven skin tone I need to cover up, which it does well. But it just lasts all day. And I live in the South, we have humidity and heat, and I don't know, it's just been my favorite combination for the longest time. I also switch out, you guys know I love the Tom Ford, the stick foundation too, but this is kind of my go-to. So I just put a little dab everywhere and then press it in. I have said for quite some time, but in case you're new here, hello, welcome. I use a dry beauty sponge because it gives me more coverage. And I find, you know, I'm getting more of the foundation, which is what I want, instead of a damp sponge, which shears it out too much. And I just find this presses it into like little fine lines and pores better when it's dry. I do have a couple of breakouts right now that I'm dealing with, but you'll see this covers it up pretty good. And my husband and I both have been dealing with some like sinus allergy issues. I don't know what's going on with the weather this time of year. I mean, we kind of always have it around here, but so my face I feel like is a little more red and my eyes a little more red than usual. That seems to always happen though when I'm doing a makeup video, but I feel like that's a good testament to the makeup. You can see what it actually covers. So I have changed up a few things recently, and that's why I thought this would be a good time to do an updated video. So some things have stayed the same. I have my kind of go-tos that I always kind of go back to, even if I'm trying other things. But again, I had a few new products that I wanted to mention I think you guys would really like. I go down my neck just slightly. My neck has been a little more red and irritated lately. Again, I don't know if it's just the allergies. Around my nose, I have a scar right here from skin cancer. And then over here, I just have like a little bit larger pores the way my nose is kind of shaped. I always have to rub a little bit more on that to kind of like get it in there to cover. And then if I just need, I'll just put like a little bit more on areas where I feel like I need a little more coverage. So okay, we'll fix all this looking a little like washed out and everything with bronzer and stuff in a minute. But this is a new concealer I have been trying, and I've looked at this for a while and thought about trying it. This is the one from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. I have it in the shade 1.5. I also ordered, I think in shade 1, but I haven't gotten that one yet because it was on back order. This one works okay too, so that one's just a little bit lighter. It'll probably work a little better in the winter, but this is 24-hour wear, you know, full coverage, creamy concealer. I really like this. I don't know, just the packaging even feels like so nice and like thick and I don't know, just high quality. So just regular doe foot like normal, and I just apply it like normal. It spreads really easily. I have a couple little places I need to put concealer on, not too bad today. I'm going to just use again a little dry sponge. I always go over my eyelids. I don't really use eyeshadow primer anymore. I just use concealer and then set it with powder, and I find that that does a good job. So you can see that coverage, isn't that nice? Because I definitely have a lot of darkness in the corners, especially now, like I said, with like allergy, sinus issues kind of going on. But it just feels very creamy, glides easily, you know, spreads easily. You don't need a ton of product. It's not like overly drying or anything like that. So if you're worried about, you know, other concealers that have been drying, this is not. I think a lot of you would really like this. The only thing with Dior, sometimes I think their colors tend to run a little dark, so maybe go up a little lighter than you think. But look how nice that covers so nicely. I really like it. And then of course I set just like always, but I don't know. I just, like I said, I can't get over. I love the packaging. It just feels very nice when you use it. Like it has some weight to it. So as usual, I'm just going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. That's just my favorite. I find it doesn't look cakey. I actually use a lot of powder. I think people are surprised by that, you know, with my age and, you know, mature skin, you shouldn't, but I find it sets it and actually like fills in some areas and helps. So I just use a little flat sponge and press it in. I start on my chin because I've mentioned before that is my problem area, and then I have a couple like lines out here forming. So that way if I press the powder in, it is less likely for the makeup to break up there. And then I'll go back in with a brush and do it like the rest of my face. But this is the area that I want to make sure sets really good. Also my cheeks too, just so I don't get any movement when I put bronzer on. And then basically I'm just pressing this in. And then for under eye setting powder, I use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I pretty much always go back to that, even if I try something else. Make sure you go on your eyelid if you're using it as a shadow primer like I do. All right, sometimes I do my brows next. Sometimes I go right to the face. Let's go to the face, get the fun stuff going. So this new palette, I have absolutely loved. This is a new one from Benefit. I believe it comes in 2 color options, but it has, of course, the Hoola bronzer in it. It has Georgia blush, and it has this palette specific color, which that is to me the best one. I think Honeymoon, and then Cookie, this highlight. The highlight is very shimmery, so I don't use that a lot, but I'll show you what I do with the blush here in a minute. So I'm just gonna use the bronzer like normal. I tend to go anymore a little bit higher up on my cheek, just so everything's a little more lifted. So for blush, what I've been doing is I'll go into this color like usually 2 or 3 times and then this twice. So I mix these two together. Same with the blush. I mean, I've been doing this for quite some time, but you may have noticed in other makeup videos, I tend to go a little bit higher on my cheek, and I always go all the way out here. I just feel like it lifts a little bit more. So it is quite a bit of blush. This blush is very pigmented, but I absolutely love it. And then if I need to blend it out a little bit, as for brows, I use two different products, the same ones I have been using. I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the Brow Definer. Both are in taupe. I've shown this in other videos before, but basically I use the Brow Wiz underneath, kind of to make the shape. And then I use the Brow Definer to fill in. So I have a lot to fill in, as you can see. But I find going underneath of it with this line kind of just, I don't know, gives it a little sharper, nice look when I'm finished. As for eyeshadow, I've kind of been going back and forth with some things, but recently I've been using my Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette a lot, or my MAC shadows. Today I think I'm going to use Urban Decay. And I usually just take this color at the end, the lightest color, and I kind of just put it all over most of my lid. It's actually a little dark on me. Most people would probably barely show up. And then I'm going to take the next lightest color and just put it in my crease. Basically, I just kind of build it up. Then I'll either use, I mean, I've used pretty much almost all these colors, but to keep with that, I'll use the Distilled or the Endgame. One's matte, one's not, but kind of just keeping with the browns. Today I think I'm going to use Distilled. And then for like daytime, I would probably just leave it there, but I'll show you, I just add a little bit of a darker shade in the corner if I wanted to deepen it up just a little bit. Of course, like I said, you don't have to do this. You could stop, because this color is pretty dark. And then I'll just blend it all out. Sometimes I'll blend in between this step, sometimes I don't. And then what I do with eyeshadow when I'm finished, I'll just take what I used for the concealer and I'll just kind of clean up if I feel like, you know, anything got like down a little too far, or, you know, just anything like that. Kind of, I mean, my eyes aren't even, so. Then I'm going to take this third shade here. You know me, I always like a lighter shade. But I feel like I don't do any like glam nighttime looks for you guys, so this would kind of be more like that with the darker on the outside. And I usually just mix a couple of the brown shades and put under my lower lash line. I'll put all this below in the description box, the colors and everything. I just feel like this step with the white opens my eyes up more, especially with using the dark colors. All right, I just primed my eyelashes and I have went back to an old favorite mascara and I forgot how much I loved it. It just gives that nice full fluttery looking lash, and that is the Lancome. This is the Monsieur Big. Oh, I'd forgotten how much I like this. I've been going back and getting some small sizes of ones that I had used in the past, just to, you know, think, oh, do I want to start using this again? I use so many different mascaras all the time. What do I love? But I'd forgotten how good this one is. It just has like a nice big brush. It is definitely a good one of my favorites. The difference mascara makes. I love mascara. It is definitely one of my favorite makeup products. For lips, I keep changing it up. Like I will use my Laura Mercier Plumberry liner a lot. I'll use Charlotte Tilbury, I'll use MAC. And then I switch it up with different lipsticks and glosses. Today, just because the last few days I've been really back into the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude liner, I'm gonna use that. All right, so this is the finished look. I just added a little bit of this Laura Mercier gloss in the color, I think Bear Baby it is. I'll again list everything that I have on below. I hope you guys like the look. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.